Hello everyone, welcome to Advanced Knowledge Systems and a warm welcome to AKS IAS Academy, which is one of the premier institutions in India, and it offers examination coaching for UPSC, CSC, State Public Service Commission, SSC Combined Graduate Level and CLAT examination. And about me, I'm Sandeep Bhushan Thumala, and my credentials are I have 10 years of teaching experience for civil services. I take up international relations and internal security and the analysis of the Hindu newspaper. And this session is in regards to the DNA, that is the daily news analysis of the Hindu newspaper, that is of today's 8th of January 2021. And this session will certainly help you because I would be emphasizing on the keywords and the key phrases from the newspaper, and we will identify the factual, analytical and conceptual questions which will be useful for prelims. And while imbibing the keywords and the key phrases in your answer writing, your mains answers would be precise and concise. You would certainly score higher marks in the mains examination. So this session will help you to crack both prelims and mains for 2021. And before we get into the DNA of the newspaper, we will look at the quote of the day. And the quote of the day says that success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. So success depends upon the discipline. It is very crucial that you need to have a disciplined structure in regards to your preparation so that you can attain success. So success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. And now we'll get into the news, that is Biden win confirmed amid there is pro-Trump mob attack. And this news says that because we have seen there was a presidential elections in November 2020, and the US Congress has confirmed that the Democrat President Joe Biden as the presidential election winner on January 7, 2021. And the lawmakers have finished the work that confirming Mr. Biden as the presidential election winner, and the Vice President Mike Pence has announced the tally of winning the presidential elections by the Democrats in a tally of 306 out of 232, 300 out of 306. So there is a clear majority for the Democrats, and Joe Biden has been confirmed as the presidential election winner. And the lawmakers have also completed the electoral college tally, and this shows the commitment to uphold the will of the voters of the Americans and the peaceful transfer of power. So the electoral college tally, which has given a clear majority for the Democrats that they have won the US presidential elections and Joe Biden as the president, and this process upholds the will of the voters and the peaceful transfer of power. But we have seen a scenario wherein a violent mob who are loyal to the President Donald Trump have stormed the Capitol, and they have stunned an attempt to overturn the presidential elections. And this mob, which has turned violent, it weakens the America's nation's democracy, and this violent mob was trying to keep Mr. Trump as the president in the White House. And certainly this violent mob, which has really caused havoc and chaos across the world, and the Twitter for the first time has logged Trump's account, and Twitter has also demanded that Donald Trump remove the tweets excusing violence, and the Twitter has also threatened permanent suspension of Mr. Trump's account. And in turn, the Facebook has also banned Mr. Trump from the platform for indefinitely for his efforts to incite violence. And this was the statement made by the chief executive of Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg. So this is a very important news because the lawmakers have completed the electoral college tally and confirmed the Democrat Joe Biden as the president. But we have also seen the other side, that there was a violent mob which has stormed into the Capitol, and it has certainly weakened the nation's democracy. And now we'll get into the another news, that is the Union Health Minister Harshvardhan has said that the government is ensuring a seamless last mile delivery for the COVID-19 vaccine, and certainly the COVID-19 vaccine which is to be administered is on the verge of being available to the entire country. And he was making this statement of the last mile delivery of the COVID-19 vaccine while he was interacting with the state health ministers, wherein at the second nationwide vaccination mock drill. So there is a nationwide vaccination mock drill which is now the second, which would be on January 8th, 2021. So we had the first nationwide vaccination mock drill, and now the second nationwide vaccination mock drill for COVID-19 is scheduled on January 8, 2021. And the Union Health Minister Harshvardhan has also said to all the states and union territories that they would start getting their vaccine supplies very soon. So this is a very good news made statements by the Union Health Minister, Mr. Harshvardhan, in regards to the second nationwide vaccination mock drill. And he has also directed the robust preparations for the rollout of the COVID-19 vaccine, which is scheduled on January 8th, which is the second mock drill for the COVID-19 vaccination. And Mr. Vardhan, that is Union Health Minister, has also said that the dry run or the mock drill of the COVID-19 vaccine will also familiarize the states, the district and the block and the hospital level officers, that they all be in the process for the vaccine rollout. So certainly the states, districts, blocks and the hospital level officers would all be part of the coordinated effort for the vaccine rollout in the dry run, which would certainly take place on January 8th, which is part of the second mock drill. And the another news which talks about is the Supreme Court has given a notice to the Rajasthan House Speaker and 6 MLAs. So we will look at what was the need for the Supreme Court to give notice to the Rajasthan's House or Assembly Speaker and to the other 6 MLAs. And the Supreme Court on January 7, 2021 has sought responses from the Rajasthan Assembly Speaker and from various or 6 MLAs, because the Supreme Court has given or asked for the responses from the Speaker against the merger of 6 BSP MLAs into the ruling Congress Legislative Party, wherein the 6 MLAs of the BSP have merged into the Congress Legislative Party in Rajasthan on or in the month of September 2019. So when this merger has taken place, now the Supreme Court is seeking the response from the Speaker of the Rajasthan Assembly, and the Apex Court was hearing a separate petition which was filed by the Bahujan Samaj Party and by an MLA of the BJP against August 24, 2020, wherein on August 24, 2020, there was an order passed by the Rajasthan High Court So the Rajasthan High Court has passed an order, and wherein the order passed by the Rajasthan High Court was challenged by the BSP and the BJP MLA, and instead they have filed a petition, separate petitions in the apex court, wherein now the apex court, hearing the separate petitions filed by the BSP and the BJP, have sought or seeking response from the Speaker of the Rajasthan Legislative Assembly. And the High Court, or the Rajasthan High Court, that is August 24, 2020 Rajasthan High Court order, this order has dismissed the BSP's petition, wherein BSP has filed a petition in the Rajasthan High Court against the Rajasthan order which has been passed by the Assembly Speaker of the Rajasthan Assembly by approving the merger of the 6 BSP MLAs into the Congress ruling party. But however, the Rajasthan High Court has given the liberty to the BSP to file a disqualification petition. So here the keyword is disqualification petition was given liberty by the Rajasthan High Court to the BSP to file the disqualification petition with the Speaker and raise the plea of defection. So here the keyword is again anti-defection of these 6 legislators into the Congress ruling party. And the High Court, which has also asked the Speaker in regards to the plea or petition filed by the BJP MLA Mr. Dilawar, has asked the Speaker to decide about the disqualification petition filed by the BJP, which is against the merger of the MLAs into the ruling party, wherein the Speaker has to decide within the 3 months. So the Rajasthan High Court has asked the BSP or given the BSP the liberty to file the disqualification petition, and in response to the petition filed by the BJP MLA, it has asked the Speaker of the House that the Speaker decide within 3 months the disqualification petition filed by the BJP MLA. But in turn, as it did not, so the BSP and the BJP have approached, or it has filed a petition in the Supreme Court, and in turn the Supreme Court has sought responses from the Speaker of the Rajasthan Legislative Assembly in regards to the merger of the 6 BSP MLAs into the Congress Legislative Party. So here the question, the point, the keywords which we need to focus is in regards to the polity, that is the disqualification. Here the keyword is merger, and then it is the disqualification petition and the defection or anti-defection law as per the 10th schedule. So these are the keywords which you need to focus for the UPSC prelims perspective. And the another news which also talks about the Supreme Court has given a notice to the center in regards to the debar of the legislatures, and this the Supreme Court now has asked the center and the election commission to respond to the plea filed by a petitioner in regards to the debar of legislatures. So here it is debarring the legislator. The keyword is debarring the legislature, which wherein they have been disqualified under the 10th schedule from contesting by-elections during the rest of the tenure of the House. So here the Supreme Court is very clearly asking the Centre and the Election Commission to respond on the legislatures who have been debarred or they have been disqualified under the 10th schedule, that they should not be allowed from contesting the by-elections during the rest of the tenure. Why this is in the news? Why Supreme Court has asked the Centre to respond, and the Chief Justice of India, that is S.A. Bobde, has also issued a notice and asked the government and the election commission to respond in 4 weeks. So we will look at why the bench has asked the government and the election commission to respond in 4 weeks in regards to the debarring of legislatures who have been disqualified under the 10th schedule, that they cannot be in a position to contest the by-elections during the rest of the tenure, because this has been filed a petition and the petitioner is Jaya Thakur, and then he has referred to the recent political events in various states such as Karnataka and Madhya Pradesh, wherein the MLAs resign, and once they resign, the incumbent government collapses, and once the incumbent government collapses because of the MLAs have resigned, these MLAs who have resigned, they surface again as the ministers in the new government which is formed by a rival political party. So the petitioner Jayam Thakur is making it very clear the MLAs who have resigned, and thereby the collapse of the incumbent government, and the same MLAs surface as ministers in the new government which is formed by a rival political party. And he says that once the MLA resigns, he incurs disqualification. So once the MLA resigns, he is deemed to be disqualified. As per the petitioner, he says that it incurs disqualification under what? Under the 10th schedule, and thereby the MLA who resigns would further be disqualified, and that MLA who has resigned cannot be permitted to contest again during the entire term which he was or she was elected. So this is the petitioner which is saying or talking about the recent political events and as per the 10th schedule. And the petitioner also says that as per Article 172, the membership of a house of a MLA has a co-terminus, that is, he is having the same with the term of 5 years of the house, but except in circumstances which are mentioned in the 10th schedule as per Article 172. But once he resigns, he is disqualified. He cannot be permitted to contest again during the entire term. That is what the petitioner is talking about, the MLAs who have been resigning and the recent political events which have taken place in various states, for example Karnataka and Madhya Pradesh. So here the keyword which we need to focus is 10th schedule, debar legislatures and disqualified from contesting by-elections for the rest of the tenure, and this is based on the 10th schedule as we are talking about, and it is as per Article 172. But he can be a member of the house except in circumstances which are mentioned in Article 172. So here the keywords are very crucial for you for the prelims 2021. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi has gone ahead with inaugurating a new section of the Western Dedicated Freight Corridor, WDFC, and he has inaugurated the section that is between New Rewari and New Madar section. And he has also, along with the inauguration of the New Rewari and New Madar section, he has flagged off the world's first 1.5 kilometer long electrified double stack container train. And certainly this is the world's first 1.5 kilometer long electrified double stack container train. And Mr. Modi says that this project, that is the Western Dedicated Freight Corridor project, is part of the mission to modernize the nation's infrastructure, and this project of the Western Dedicated Freight Corridor is a game changer for India's 21st century. And the new Rewari and New Madar section, which has been inaugurated by our Prime Minister Narendra Modi, will be benefited to farmers, industrialists and businessmen who are in the National Capital Region and in Haryana and Rajasthan. So, the Western Dedicated Freight Corridor, which is being part of the inaugurated new Rewari and New Madar section, will benefit farmers, industrialists and businessmen. And this Western Dedicated Freight Corridor would lead to development of growth centers and points in several cities, that is Haryana, Rajasthan and National Capital Region, and it will also create job opportunities, and it will also attract more investments from indigenous companies and also from foreign investors. And this project, that is Western Dedicated Freight Corridor of the new section which has been inaugurated, will also give a new fillip to the local industries and to the manufacturing units by providing a faster and cheaper access across the nation and also to the international markets because of the Western Dedicated Freight Corridor. And we have also seen that last month, that is in December 2020, a section, that is New Bhaupur and New Khurja section, was inaugurated, which is part of the Eastern Dedicated Freight Corridor. And now the Western Dedicated Freight Corridor, a section of it has been inaugurated, along with the last month which has been inaugurated is Eastern Dedicated Freight Corridor. So now it is Western Dedicated Freight Corridor which has been inaugurated, and last month it was Eastern Dedicated Freight Corridor. And this Eastern Dedicated Freight Corridor, which was started last month, that is in December 2020, also we have the farm produce which will be transported from Punjab, and coal will be transported from Jharkhand, and this farm produce and coal from Punjab and Jharkhand respectively will be supplied to the NCR, Haryana and Punjab. So the Eastern Dedicated Corridor will be supplying the farm produce and coal to the NCR, that is National Capital Region, Haryana and Punjab. And when we focus in regards to the Western Dedicated Freight Corridors, it will be beneficial, and the transportation of the farm produce and the coal will be from the National Capital Region, Haryana and Rajasthan states will be benefited. And if you look at in toto, there are 133 railway stations in 9 states which will have a positive impact because of the dedicated freight corridor. You have a dedicated freight corridors, and part of the or amongst the dedicated freight corridor, we have seen the Western Dedicated Freight Corridor and Eastern Dedicated Freight Corridor. And this is the keyword, that is the Dedicated Freight Corridor, which will be a probable question for prelims as well as mains for UPSC perspective. And this project will get into the mode of new multimodal logistic parks, freight terminals, container depot terminals and parcel hubs would be developed at various places, that is along the 133 railway stations in 9 states, which will be impacted or benefited because of the dedicated freight corridor. And because of this rapid infrastructural expansion, there is a possibility that the northeast state capitals would also be linked to the national rail network, that is which will also have or which will certainly take the benefit of the dedicated freight corridor. Here the keywords which you need to focus is the dedicated freight corridor and multimodal logistic parks, freight terminal, container depots, parcel hubs, and then the northeastern state capitals would also be linked to the national rail network. And the other one is the eastern dedicated freight corridor, which will have an impact because of the dedicated freight corridors. There would be development of growth centers and various points in various cities, and the creation of job opportunities and attracting more investments. And the another keyword here is that the western dedicated freight corridor, which is of new section, that is new Rewari and new Madar section, which has been inaugurated, and world's first 1.5 kilometer long electrified double stack haul container train has also been flagged off. So these are all the keywords which are crucial for prelims as well as mains perspective. And now we will look at the another news which talks about the GDP, and the advanced estimates have been released by NSO, that is National Statistical Office, and it says that, or it shows that the real GDP is estimated to contract by 7.7 percentage, that is minus 7.7 in 2021, and the GVA, that is gross value added, is also shrinking by 7.2 percentage. So if we compare the estimates released by the National Statistical Office, the real GDP and the GVA, that is gross value added, both are in negative, it is in contracting or shrinking, which is respectively 7.7 and 7.2 percentage. And if we look at the India's economy in 2019-20, it has been positive 4.2 percentage, but because of the COVID-19 pandemic situation, thereby again gradually entire country was under lockdown, and because of this, from positive 4.2 India's economy, it has entered into the recessionary phase, and it has triggered, or it has gone into the contraction. Because of that, the real GDP and the GVA, that is gross value added, has shrinked to 7.7 and 7.2 percentage. And we have seen that in the month of April and June 2020, the GDP has contracted to minus 23.9 percentage. But because of the revival of the business activities, economy has further improved from minus 23.9 percentage to minus 7.5 percentage in the second quarter of 2020-2021, and thereby it has projected the real GDP contraction to 15.7 percentage in the first half of 2020-2021. And the National Statistical Office also estimates and suggests that the economy will surface, that means it will surge, it will have a positive trend in the second half to near zero growth or minus 0.1 contraction. So there is a good news that the estimates, NSO estimates that it would from minus 7.7 to it would be 0 or 0.1 contraction, that is minus 0.1 percentage. And the NSO also makes it very clear that there are only two sectors which have been recorded positive in gross value added, that is agriculture, and along with this it is the electricity, gas, water supply and other utility services, which has shown a positive trend even during the COVID-19 pandemic situation. And the sharpest decline during the COVID-19 pandemic situation has been to the trading, hotels, transport, communication, and various service related to broadcasting, and also the construction, mining, and quarrying, along with the manufacturing, has been in a contraction, that is in a negative trend. So definitely it is only in regards to the agriculture which has shown a positive trend, but apart from that, majority of them, or the majority of the sectors have been in a contracting mode. And the public administration, defense, has contracted to 3.7 percentage, while financial, real estates, and professional services record a marginal 0.8 decline, comparing it with the year on year as per the advanced estimates. So the first hit are the construction, manufacturing, mining, quarrying, transport, communication, trade, hotels, and service industry has been declined, has been dented very badly because of the COVID-19 pandemic situation. And now we will focus at the recapitulation of the DNA. And here the first one is in regards to the lawmakers have confirmed the electoral college tally and has informed that Joe Biden has been elected as the president. But the violent mob has caused or weakened the nation's democracy. Joe Biden has been elected. States will get vaccine. So here it was to note that in regards to the health, the vaccine, COVID-19 vaccine, there would be a second mock drill which would take place from January 8th, 2021. And the SC notice to Rajasthan House Speaker is in regards to the merger of 6 MLAs into the ruling Congress party, and it is in regards to the defection. And we have looked at the 10th schedule. So here it is in regards to debarring of the legislation. Again, disqualification of the legislations we have focused at, that they do not have the, or they cannot contest the elections once they resign for the rest of the tenure. So the petitioner has filed, and these both are from polity perspective, UPSC prelims and mains. And this is as per the dedicated freight corridor we have seen recently, that is Western dedicated freight corridor and then Eastern dedicated freight corridors have been inaugurated by a Prime Minister as part of the infrastructure project, which would be an helpful or fillip to the 21st century infrastructure development. And this, as part of the economy, we have seen how the GDP and the GVA, gross value added, has been contracted by 7.7 and 7.2 percentage, but there is an estimate that it would come up to, or it would reach to 0 or 0.1 percentage contraction. So I hope this was a very informative session and also a knowledgeable session, focusing on the prelims as well as mains perspective. So I would say a very big thank you to all and a good luck. Do maintain consistency and stick to your schedule and take care of your physical health and mental health. And do not forget to like the video, share the video, and subscribe the AKS IAS Academy English YouTube channel. And then have access to the website and also sign in to the Telegram link of AKS IAS Academy, that is Advanced Knowledge System. And do take the maximum benefit of the DNA of the AKS IAS Academy. And then I would say a very big thank you, and then see you again with the daily news analysis tomorrow. Thank you very much.